Good morning all. Myself Patel Muskan Maksud from Dapoli Urban Bank Senior Science College. Today I am here to give a short presentation on my research work, which is a study of fear and emotional appeal in advertising. So here I am going to cover a few points. Introduction, literature review, methodology, data analysis, conclusion and reference. So let's start with introduction part first. Emotional appeal in advertising. The image of the product which is created by the advertiser has a greatest impact on purchasing behavior. The behavior of consumer is mainly influenced by particular positive and negative emotions. There are happiness and pride are positive emotions and fear and guilt are negative emotions. Next, literature review. Now these are some literature review of our research we have collected through different articles and published research paper. Methodology. In a research work, the sample size is 160 and the method of data collection of primary as well as secondary. We collect information about the research paper with the help of various sources such as internet, books, journals and published research papers. Next, data analysis. This is the age-wise classification of advertising where 160 out of 100 know very well about a study of fear and emotional appeal in advertisement. The above table represent that advertisers often target people in the 18 to 45 years old age group because these age range present a large portion of the population and many advertisers believe that targeting this age group will be the most effective way to reach potential customer and increases sales. In advertising, especially women are target audience because women are affected easily and easily affected on personal interest. That's why more than males, females are affected in advertising. The gender-wise classification, most of the females are attracted in advertising because of more attractive fashionable clothes and beauty products, hairspray and beverage aids. Next, the specific operation process shows in this table about the test group and control group of advertisement. Now the second last slide, that is conclusion. What we have actually concluded through this research is that advertising that makes people feel bad has harder time getting them to change their behavior. Here, advertising that appeals to people's emotions and fears has minimal impact of their decision to assist social causes. Customers take fear risk when exposed to unfavorable emotional commercial, it might be said. Now the last and final slide of our research paper is reference, what we have actually collected. Thank you.
The title of our paper is An Empirical Study on the Perception of Undergraduate Students about the Challenges of Current Education System and the Relationship with Communication Skills of the Students. Now, in order to determine the value of higher education, the performance indicator which is generally used by the government and the international rankings is the employment rate of the graduates. Where are these graduates getting their jobs? What salaries are they getting? Are they really getting jobs or not? Or they are not getting jobs? And as perceived by most of the youth today, employability is equivalent to getting a job. In India, the India Skills Report 2022 was done recently. This report is a merger of two different studies. It analyzed the employability among 3 lakh youth across various educational domains and studies the hiring trend and preferences of employers in top industries. It studies the job readiness of the youth for the market, and the study concludes in 2022 the youth are unemployment percentage is 51.3%, and this percentage has increased with respect to the year 2021. The analysis also reveals a number of facts, shocking facts about the curriculum which is taught at higher education institutions. Number one, the material taught is outdated and it is irrelevant to the ongoing happenings in the industry. The top companies which are adopting new recruitment strategies are now centered around soft skills. However, our higher education institutions seldom educate their students on this parameter. And among 152 companies surveyed, 75% of the corporate leaders expressed that there was a skill gap in their industry. And among 10 million students in higher education, 95% students did not have access to education that could help them build a career and become employable. The graduating students, so as to be able to tackle global changes, need to have soft skills. And the key skill required as per the India Skills Report 2022 is to excel in digital age, to develop communication skills, as it gives humans an advantage over machines. Not only our India Skills Report talks about it, but our literature review also comes up with similar conclusions. The various past studies have revealed that the employers today look out for candidates who have leadership abilities, they are team players, they are creative corporate citizens, they have apprenticeship trainings and all this tend to have a strong influence on the employability of graduates. The research gap today is how to effectively enhance and shape the employability of our graduates. Now, the objectives of our study are to decode the skills as presented in India Skills Reports 2022 so as to make the graduates of higher education institutions employable, to conduct an empirical study on the perception of undergraduate students about the challenges of current education system and their relation with communication skills of the students, and to present aspirational goals of new education policy 2020 which aligns with sustainability development goal 4, that is to ensure and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The hypotheses of our studies are centered around number 1, correlation study between the perception of students about challenges in teaching methodology and level of communication skills. Hypothesis 2, correlation between perception of students about challenges in educational framework and level of communication skills. Hypothesis number 3, correlation between the perception of students about challenges in practical exposure and the level of communication skills. And hypothesis 4, correlation between the perception of students about challenges in access to resources and their level of communication skills. Now, the problem statement is that the existing educational environment and teaching methods used in colleges need to equip the students with communication skills required to make them employable. The methodology which has been used is an exploratory, descriptive and inferential research which was conducted to study the perception of undergraduate students about challenges of current education system and their relation to communication skills of the students. The universe of the study is college students from suburban Mumbai, and a sample of 250 college students was taken. A stratified sampling method was used to collect data. We used Likert scale in our questionnaire, and both a personal interview method and observation method was used to collect data. Yes. Next. Yeah.
The data analysis has been divided into two sections: qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. The quantitative analysis includes results from reliability test, normality test, and correlation test. It can be seen in table 1 that the reliability test shows that the result of Cronbach alpha test values for all the variables is greater than 0.7. Therefore, it is interpreted that the parameters are inconsistent for measuring the respective variables. Table 2 shows the normality of data. The normality of data in the study were tested applying Shapiro-Wilk test, and it is observed that the p-value for all the variables is less than critical p-value 0.05. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected. And table 3 shows the correlation analysis. Since the data is not normally distributed for all the variables, non-parametric Kendall-Stowe correlation test and Spearman's rank correlation test was used for testing the significance of the correlation between two variables. Indicates that there exists positive and significant correlation between these variables. Therefore, we reject all the null hypothesis and state that there is a significant positive correlation between the variables. Since the correlation coefficient falls in the range of 0.10 to 0.29, there is a very small relation between these variables.
So we move on to our new National Education Policy 2020. Now, what are the desired outcomes from graduates of 21st century? What we are expecting to make them employable? They have to be creative, innovative at job and work. They have to have high order thinking for job and research. They should have more in-depth learning and should have problem solving abilities. They should be able to work in teams, and for lifelong learning, they have to have good communication skills. They should also have social involvement. Here comes our new education policy, which is trying to bring about all the major changes in our educational system. Number one, institutional restructuring and consolidation. It wants to transform all higher education institutions into large multidisciplinary universities, which will be more of knowledge hubs. STEM, that is integration of humanities and arts with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Then it wants to provide a supportive learning environment, not only for the learners, but it wants to have a motivated, energized, and capable faculties. The teacher's education is of paramount importance, and by 2030, only educationally sound teacher programs shall be imposed. It once again gives a lot of emphasis on vocational education. That wants to transform the regulatory system of higher education so as to energize the higher education sixth sector by seeing to it that academic standards are setting is performed by independent and empowered bodies. It wants to have effective governance and leadership for all the higher education institutions.
Thus,
The conclusion.
Yes, the conclusion of the study that there is a positive, significant relationship was seen between the communication skills and the four challenges. The research strongly recommends that the higher educational institutions need a transformation to bridge the gap between the current state of learning outcomes through undertaking major reforms that bring the highest quality, equity, and integrity into the system of higher education. The National Education Policy 2020 proposes the revision and revamping of all aspects of the education structure and to create a new system that is aligned with the aspirational goals of 21st century education, including the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which will also contribute in building India's traditions, cultures, and value system. This is the references which we have used for our study. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Miss Tanuja Shivaji. Before presenting my paper, I would like to introduce myself. I have completed MCom in Shivaji University, Kolhapur, as well as MA in Economics from the same university, MPhil from Cyber Kolhapur, and recently I have submitted my PhD final thesis to the same university, and now I am pursuing MBA. So my research paper entitled as Increasing Number of Accidents on National Highways and Digitalization of Traffic Management System with special reference to National Highway number 48. So first point is to be discussed that advanced traffic management system to improve the flow of vehicle traffic and safety. Advanced traffic management system was introduced in 2019, and since 2019 digitalization has been seen on the national highway stretch. So what is advanced traffic management system? That is central control room were located to control all over the traffic sitting over one room. Emergency call box in order to call the ambulance or help, the victim can use this emergency call box. Then variable messaging signs awares the driver to control the speed limit or what is the situation in the coming time period. They can make aware about that situation. Video incidental detection, that is in order to control the further accidents, video incidental detection helps the control system for further action. Then speed enforcement system, on the particular stretch of the national highway, a particular speed limit is given. Anyone should not cross that particular speed limit. That is what speed enforcement system. Then electronic toll collection system. Now we can see the fast track card is used to pay online toll. So it saves the time of the driver and it smoothens the flow of the vehicle on any toll plaza. Then road accidents in India. Road accidents in India, according to the government published report, it is published that the report says that more than 1,40,000 people were killed in India due to road accidents, and the figure has increased more than 1,50,000 among the 5 lakhs of accidents. And the contributor for this accident is the youngsters, and it is in between the age group of 15 to 34. So these youngsters are getting died before contributing to the nation's development, and this is what very much big loss of our country, because the youngsters are the future growing of our economy, and they are getting died in between 15 to 34. So it affects the GDP of our nation, and that is what the problem. Then road ministry transport says that many of the accidents consist of fatalities and less number of injuries, and the injured people are continuously remaining injured, that is what permanently disabled, and no one is there to take care of them. So this becomes the serious issue regarding the accidents which are increasing continuously even after implementing advanced traffic management system. In order to fill up the gap between the earlier reviews and the current present study, the researchers have taken some researches and taken their reviews. That is, earlier studies were taken into consideration on the basis of epidemiological factors and polluted areas, local accidents, and which are blamed by the past due to deteriorated services, and the relationship between accident types and causes, accident black spots on highways and their low cost remedial measures, and many of the articles were on road traffic crashes among drivers, and the study also considered the pattern of accidents, then social and economical cause, major causes of factors contributing to road accidents, and the pattern of road accidents, causes of road accidents, and types of vehicles are being studied. So, except this, the researchers have taken some objectives which we are going to discuss in the further slide. Methodology of the study. Objective of the study. For the present research study, researchers have taken out the objective, that is to study the digital traffic management system on national highway, and second is to analyze the causes behind increasing accidents on national highway. Then sample design, in order to collect the data from different stakeholders, respondents applying on NH48 were chosen as the convenient sampling method. And also researcher has taken 130 FIR records from the adjoining police stations to the Kinney Toll Plaza, and the researcher has taken the particular stretch from Kolhapur to Kinney Toll Plaza, and adjoining police stations records has been collected as primary record for research. For collection of primary data, researcher has taken the responses from the respondents who are applying on the NH48 by designing a proper questionnaire, and the data collected which is cross-verified with the data collected from the FIR, that is from the adjoining police stations. The secondary data collected from the various sources like highway, police stations which are adjoined to the particular street selected by the researcher, then research articles, journals and internet browsing. According to the analysis, we can see that in this table number 2, analysis of FIR on the basis of causes of accident. So these are the major causes of accident: overspeeding, wrong overtaking, drunk and drive, use of mobile phones, avoiding safety measures and others. Others means what? The speed breaker or slip of the vehicle or bursting of tire or any other reason like failure of brake. Okay, so overspeeding is the main cause of accident, which is given by the respondents response 54.61%, which is followed by the wrong overtaking 31.53%, and thirdly avoiding safety measures others, that is 13.84% respondents responded that these can be major cause of accidents. In this slide, we can see that classification based on accidents witnessed by different stakeholders on NH48. So stakeholders are employees on toll plaza, highway patrolling authority, police authority on toll plaza, PUC and PWD. So we can see the responses that 20 of the employees said that they have witnessed the accidents up to 50, and highway patrolling authority 4, and 4 of the highway patrolling authority says that they have witnessed up to 50. Then police authority 3 of them said the same, and 5 public work department said that they have witnessed the accidents up to 50 in the particular stretch, that is from Kolhapur to Kinney Toll Plaza. So we can see that the respondents are morely contributing to the range up to 50. So we can see that in this particular stretch, very limited stretch from Kolhapur to Kinney Toll Plaza, the number of accidents are very much observed by the stakeholders on the highway. So what do we find from this paper? So it is found that existing digital traffic management system, no doubt it is working well on National Highway number 48, but it is observed that in this particular stretch of the National Highway from Kolhapur to Kinney Toll Plaza, no any digitalization of traffic management system has been observed. And that's why it can be said that the number of accidents are increasing as there is no any digital traffic management system is implemented. Then no emergency call box verified in that particular stretch of the National Highway, no variable messaging board is observed. Then even after systematic traffic management system since 2019, the number of accidents is going on increasing, and which is contributed in the age group of the people from 15 to 34, which is very dangerous affection on the national economic development. So, according to findings, what suggestions can be given? Due to fatal accidents, our country is losing the youngsters, and that's why this is suggestion given that there should be strict implementation of traffic rule on national highway, and helmet and seatbelt should be made compulsory for every driver on national highway. Then police authority are supposed to do their duty honestly and without bribbing. More digital traffic management system should be implemented throughout the stretch of the national highway, not just on the particular stretch of the national highway. So this can control the number of accidents which are increasing rapidly. So both of them, vehicle drivers as well as traffic management system, should be aware about their moral responsibilities, and if there is awareness, the accidents can be reduced tremendously, and this will affect national economic development positively. So conclusion of the paper is that this research carries data regarding increasing fatalities and injuries due to accidents on NH 48, and this is due to the increasing bribing of traffic police and irresponsible behavior of driver, which is killing themselves. So even after implementing the digital traffic management system, we can say that the number of accidents is increasing rapidly. So it is found that digitalization of traffic management system is not yet implemented on the whole stretch of the national highway, which is to be implemented rigorously. And especially this research paper is conducted on the particular stretch selected on national highway from Kolhapur to Kini Toll Plaza, which does not contain any kind of digital traffic management system. And this is what the conclusion: the digital traffic management system should be implemented all over the stretch of the national highway, not just in the part of the national highway which is crossing the metro cities. For the present research paper, researcher has taken various reviews and references from the following site and from the following articles, journals and publications. At last, I would like to thank you for giving me opportunity for presenting the paper on online mode. Thank you so much.
The topic of our research paper is Working Towards Sustainability, a study of banking sector in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Introduction. Working towards sustainability in our research paper is with respect to green banking. Therefore, the mantra Go Green becomes relevant for reducing global warming for a better sustainable development for future, since it reduces the use of paper and sending the queues for deposits. It is also known as eco-friendly banking. Objectives: to understand the concept of green banking, to identify the awareness of customers towards green banking in Maharashtra and Karnataka, to know what customers' perspective is about green banking, to understand the importance and usage of green banking. Review of literature. According to Sudharishmi and Chinnadori in 2014, they studied about the status of Indian banks towards green banking and stated that Go Green mantra is essential for better sustainable development. According to Ahuja N in 2015, he studied about the initiative Go Green and green banking as an important source for ensuring environment-friendly practices and reducing carbon footprints. According to Kanak P. Singh S. Kumar R. in 2015, the highlights about the financial sector, especially the banks, playing an important role in promoting environment sustainability. According to Lalin R. M. 2015, he finds that the green banking promotes environmental friendly practices and green banking is a form of banking from which the country and nation gets environmental benefits, substantial economic development, and promoting environmental friendly practices. According to Kapoor N., Dr. Jaitley M., and Gupta R. in 2016, they focuses on the fact that the society nowadays is more knowledgeable and is very cautious about the environment for future. According to Sridharan S. and Murugan S. in 2019, they studied that the green banking means ensuring environment friendly practices in banking sector and thereby reducing carbon footprints. According to Prabhu N. in 2021, he highlights on increasing environment sustainability practices from banking activities for promoting green banking. We have chosen this topic as for our research paper is because it has a considerable amount of energy has been done in India with respect to sustainability and green banking. However, there is a scarce amount of information regarding the sustainability in banking sector in Maharashtra and Karnataka. Methodology used. For our research paper, we have used the sample design by investigating the respondents to Google Forms by asking questions. We had done a simple random sampling from Maharashtra and Karnataka with the response with the 104 responses. The data collection is done through primary data and secondary data, and the data analysis is done through statistical tool Excel. The technique used for our research paper to collect the data is a snowball technique, and the sources of collecting the data is a primary data and secondary data. So the primary data is done through survey and second data is through published reports, research papers and other internet sources as well as search tools. Importance and significance. Our research paper is focused to understand the customer's awareness level towards green banking, as this system of banking is highly beneficial for the environment for future generation. Adoption of eco-friendly practices helps us to generate environment concern. Data analysis. The data as per the primary data which we have collected is according to the following graphs. Respondents placed background on basis of age. From the above graph, we can say that the highest number of respondents were from the age group of 18 to 25 with the frequency of 82 and 79%. The second age group was from age group of 26 to 35 with 10 respondents and followed by 36 to 45 with 9 respondents. Respondent background on basis of location. The highest number of respondents were from the Maharashtra state with 94 responses and Karnataka with 10 responses. Respondent background on the basis of account holding. From the data collected, we can say that the highest number of respondents hold the savings account and respondents' background on the basis of accounts having in their bank. We can highly say that the number of respondents were from the SBI Bank. Preference of respondents. When the respondents were asked about which system of banking would they prefer, the green banking or a traditional banking, the 89th number of respondents had preferred the green banking system over traditional banking. Further moving on to knowledge level towards each category. According to this graph, the customers are highly aware of the green banking in general and e-banking services rather than the green banking and lending policy. Talking about the awareness level towards each category, we can see that the respondents are highly aware of ATM cards, mobile banking and SMS banking rather than the e-money and e-billing. Beneficial levels towards each category. The respondents highly agree that if this banking system is adopted, It would be highly beneficial for environment, for protecting the environment for better sustainable development and for the by the customers and the banks. Beneficial level. The customers agree that this banking system is highly beneficial for environmental friendly. It helps in reducing cost and also it helps for a better sustainable development. When asked about the respondents about their perception towards green banking and if the banks should adopt the green banking system, the customers highly agree that yes, the green banking system should be highly adopted by all the banks for a better sustainable development. Suggestions. The first suggestion would be to develop a secure interface app by the banks for creating awareness among the customers about green banking, to educate the customers and improve on technology and encourage people to use green banking, to promote the use and benefits of green banking through awareness campaigns, and to reduce carbon footprints and take initiatives to adopt the green banking system. Following other references which we have used for our research paper, I'd like to thank everyone. Thank you.
Greetings everyone, myself Prisha Shah, first year law student pursuing BLS LLB at Government Law College Mumbai. And today I'll be presenting on the topic Impact of China Plus One on India. So as we know, for the last several years, multinational companies have invested mainly in China, drawn in by the low production cost and enormous domestic consumer markets, developing from the overconcentration of business interests in China. So China Plus One, which is also known as Plus One or just C Plus One, is a business strategy to avoid investing only in China and diversifying business into other countries. This paper dwells into various aspects of this policy with major discussions revolving around understanding the meaning and need behind China Plus One, impact of China Plus One on India, how the global pandemic accelerated this phenomena, evaluating India as a reliable alternate to China, regulators' role and action in strategically aligning India to benefit from China Plus One, and challenges India faces to be a viable alternate to China. For this research paper, the author has referred to the following books, research articles and newspaper articles. First, Kumar Baswar in his newspaper article What is China Plus One Strategy of the Business Standard, published on July 26, 2022, has spoken about the China Plus One strategy, finding out why India is struggling to register itself as a favorite investment destination and figuring out ways in which it can be made one. Second, Edward Peter in his newspaper article, A China Plus One Strategy, The Best of Both Worlds, published by the Auckland University of Technology, has written about the reasons behind adopting the China Plus One strategy and the reasons behind decreasing the overdependence countries have on China and trying to look out for another place of investments. Third, Kumar Bharat in his newspaper article China Plus One is an opportunity for Indian firms, published in the Hindu on May 22, 2022, talks about how Indian firms can make the most of this opportunity and discusses the ways in which the manufacturing sector can function to make the most of this opportunity. Fourth, Gandhi Hetal and Chaudhry Isha in the newspaper article Factory of the World, how India can be plus one destination while reducing the dependence on China. In the Times of India, published on 28 November 2020, writes about the ways in which India can compete to try and emerge as a global manufacturing hub. Fifth, OCHA, the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, published on December 2, 2020, talks about how COVID-19 has renewed a sense of urgency to support and encourage localization. It further goes on to discussing the importance of funding for the local players in the market and its expansion. This research paper, mixed methodology is used for the construction of data points, which includes both quantitative and qualitative data. Further, due to the nature and the scale of the topic, the author has relied on secondary data, which includes but is not limited to data from government bodies, financial newspapers, websites, and research papers published by distinguished scholars. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown limitations of global markets in terms of health infrastructure of countries, supply chain disruptions, or dependence of the world on China. Amid path-breaking COVID disruptions, companies attempted to innovate their business models. One such business model is China Plus One strategy. Although such model was in place by Japan and US since 2008, it furthered much more during the pandemic. To support the world's ever-growing demand for machinery, automobiles, transport, and electrical equipment, countries like India, Vietnam, Thailand, Mexico, Taiwan, Malaysia fill the vacuum. In the long run, the economic stars are aligned in favor of India. India possesses a low-cost production, conducive business environment, and incentivizing government policies to support the companies. Economical and financial consideration is one of the many factors that led to the acceleration in the adoption of China Plus One policy by the world. Some other broader non-economical issues included China's zero COVID policy, US-China trade war, crisis of Alibaba owner Jack Ma, ban of several Chinese smartphone applications by India and the US. This global phenomena coincides with a domestic vision of boosting our manufacturing capabilities and bolstering our position in the global value chains. If India can exploit this opportunity, it can ensure tremendous growth and economic development for the country. The research objectives of this research paper includes assessing impact of China Plus One on India, evaluating India as an alternative to China in global supply chain, impact of government initiatives in leveraging opportunities presented by China Plus One to India. Research hypotheses. First, Hypothesis 1. The null hypothesis states India has not benefited from China Plus One. The alternate hypothesis says India has benefited from China Plus One. Here, the alternative hypothesis is deduced to be valid. This is because this policy has had various impacts on India and has affected many sectors like the manufacturing sector, the pharmaceutical sectors, etc. Second, Hypothesis 2. Null hypothesis states government initiatives has not helped India leverage benefit from China Plus One. Alternate hypothesis states government initiatives has helped India leverage benefit from China Plus One. Here, alternative hypothesis is deduced to be valid. This is because as it can be seen how several initiatives taken by the government of India have fast-paced the investments coming to India, reflected by the huge FDI flows. 3. Hypothesis 3. Null hypothesis states COVID-19 has not provided an impetus to China Plus One strategy. Alternate hypothesis states COVID-19 has provided impetus to the China Plus One strategy. Here too, the alternative hypothesis is deduced to be valid. Because during the COVID-19 pandemic, countries realized their overdependence on China and the need to diversify the business to other destinations. To make the most of this opportunity, India can take the following measures. First, offering subsidies and tax vacations, as this would help companies set up manufacturing bases in India. Second, reducing the custom duties on various products, which are used as inputs. So this will help them reduce the cost of production and make the products competitive in the global market. Third, widening and deepening the existing PLI program, as this would help in covering more sectors and incentivizing the sectors that are already benefiting from this. Fourth, improving the business infrastructure and simplifying business laws. And the aim should be to move up on the ease of doing business and such other indexes tracked by multinationals. Fifth, encouraging a healthy public-private partnership model with a robust feedback mechanism to understand the needs of the industry. Sixth, setting up sector-specific committees under the guidelines of Ministry of Commerce This should be done to expedite the information flow between the businesses and the regulators. For making up this research paper, several newspaper articles and government reports were referred to. Starting with the newspaper articles, the first one being Bureau, TH 2022, November 17. China plus one strategy puts India at a vantage position. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, The Hindu. Second, Mishra, AR 2022, December 8. India has to compete to gain from China plus one strategy. Aishwar Prasad, Business Standard News. Third, Kumar KB, 2022, May 21. China plus one is an opportunity for Indian firms. The Hindu. Fourth, a manufacturing renaissance. Can China plus one deliver for India? Fifth, Buddha Garupa R. 2022, May 27. India wants to be the pharmacy of the world, but first it must wean itself from China. CNBC. Now moving forward to the government reports. The first one being Atmanirbhar Bharat, why business localization is a win-win proposition for all. Business Today, 2021, May 7. Second, production linked incentive PLI schemes in India. And with this, we come to an end of this research paper. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. I, Rajdeep Kamble, and co-author of this research paper, Meghna Madam, Assistant Professor of Ismail Yusuf College, Department of Commerce. Let me first thanks to all our seniors who motivated, guided us to present this research paper in this national conference. Once again, I would like to thank for giving us opportunity to present research paper in this national conference. Title of our paper is Role of Skill India Program and Employment Generation with reference to Mumbai city. This paper is about role of Skill India Program and employment generations. Skill development programs are crucial in addressing employment in Mumbai and Maharashtra because they help job seekers acquire the skills needed to succeed in the job market. Let us understand skill development programs are structured training programs designed to equip individuals with job-specific or industry-specific skills, knowledge, and qualifications. The programs can range from short-term courses to long-term apprenticeships and are aimed at enhancing the employability of individuals and addressing the skills gap in the workforce. Skill development programs can take various forms such as vocational training, apprenticeships, on-the-job training, and online training. Vocational training involves training individuals in a specific trade or skills, while apprenticeships provides hands-on training in the workplace settings. On-the-job training is provided by employers to train employers in job-specific skills, while online learning enables individuals to learn new skills and earn certifications remotely. Many job seekers in Mumbai, Maharashtra do not have the skills needed to meet the demands of employers in growing industry. Skill development programs help bridge this gap by providing job specific training and certifications program that equip individuals with the skill needed to success in the workforce. Skill development program not only provide job specific training but also enhance the employability. These skills are highly valued by employers and give job seekers a competitive edge in the job market. Skill development programs are important for the overall economical growth in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Objective of this research paper is to study various Skill India program, to study the role of Skill India program for employment generations, and hypothesis is there is a significant growth in employment as impact of Skill India program. Research methodology of this paper is the study is based on primary and secondary data. For primary data, questionnaire is given to students and secondary source of data like various online reports, newspapers, websites, for example, msd.gov.in, shodhganga.com, and other government's publications with reference to program have been referred to make detailed analysis. Universe of the study is IY college students, those who have completed NSDC skills development course. Sample of the study is 51 respondents of random sampling methods. Reference period of the study for this paper is 2020 to 2023. Scope and limitations of the study is limited only Mumbai city. For the study for this paper, area is limited to IY college students and 51 respondents. Data interpretations and analysis. Role of Skill India program and employment generation with reference to Mumbai city. For study of this research paper, we have collected data from IY college students who have completed NSDC course. We have received 51 responses, 56.9 female and 43.1 male respondent. Quantitative aptitude techniques used for data analysis with pie chart. From 51 responses, 17.6% undergraduations, 35.3% graduated, and 47.1% postgraduate students had responded. From 51 responses are a different age group like 15 to 18, 19 to 22, 23 to 25, and 26 to 30 years. In above diagram showing from 51 responses, 64.7% students said yes for college provide or organize skill development program for enhanced employability skill, and 35.3% respondent say no. In this slide, you can see the question is asked to students, are you aware about government employability skill development program? So about from 51 responses, 56.9% were not aware about the government employability skill development program and 43.1 were aware of it. We asked students, have you received any training from skill development program? So 72.50% students received training from skill development program and 27.50% respondents say no. In this slide, we can see 71.20% students get a job after completing skill development program and 28.18% students not find suitable job as per their skill. In this slide, you can see we ask the questions students The skill development program is useful to enhance your skill. So 60.8% students are finding it's useful to enhance their skill through skill development program, and 39.2% respondents say no. The suggestion of this research paper are: awareness about Skill India program should start from root level for the effective impact. Skill India program should focus more on practical training for generating more employability. Proper efforts need to take by way of advertisement, seminar and workshop for reaching more and more youths. The conclusion of this research paper is: as per the study of Skill India program, who offer various courses and training for youth to develop their skill as per market demand for students and young populations, is demand for today's industry. Such type of initiative taken by government is very important to generate employment opportunity. It is very helpful to youth who are looking for employability by enhancing their skills. Awareness of such type of program required at all level like schools, college and universities. Thank you.
Good morning all. Myself Miss Tasbih Rosmin Aslam from Dapoli Urban Bank Senior Science College. Today I am here to give a short presentation on my research work, which is consumer perception and impact of digital payment during COVID-19. So here I am going to cover a few points which includes introduction, objectives, research work at a glance, review of literature and conclusion. So let us start with the introduction part first. This is the era of the technology. Human beings are totally dependent on technology. Technology has made human life easier, better and comfortable. But each passing day, technology is been progressing and bringing some or the other innovation. One such innovation which technology has led to mankind is the innovation of digital payment system. Now, what is actually digital payment? Digital payment is the digital representation of cash. Digital payment is handling the money in an electronic format through mobile phones, laptops, smart cards, plastic cards without carrying the money only in the form of cash. Recording stop here. All of us who are listening have remember the period of COVID-19 pandemic. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the digital payment industry have got a boost up. This is because of the lockdown situation. People have shifted from the cash transaction to digital transaction. This was because in order to safeguard themselves from the virus, they prefer to use the digital payment system. Now here I have shown a picture which says no cash, no digital. Indian government dreams to be a cashless economy in the few years, but it is not possible to go 100% cashless because till now I have told only the optimistic and the positive side of digital payment. But there are also many challenges and problems which people are facing in using digital payment system. Now, these are some of the objectives of my research work. The first one is to find out which payment mode people are more comfortable in using, whether it is cash or digital. Next is to study the impact of COVID-19 on digital payment system, whether people have increased their use or decreased their use or they are same as before, and to know the problems faced by people in using the digital payment system. Research work at a glance. These are the different types of digital payment modes or methods through which a person can pay electronically, which includes mobile wallets like GPay, PhonePe, POS machine, micro ATMs, UPI, Unified Payment Interface, and banking cards, that is debit card or the credit card. Now, this is a graph which represents the usage of digital payment apps during the COVID-19 pandemic, where Paytm has been mostly used by the consumers to pay electronically. About 33% of respondents have used Paytm app, whereas phone pay is only used by 4% of consumers. Now, these are some reasons why people are still not opting or using the Now, these are some reasons for which people are not opting for digital payment, which includes digital illiteracy among people. People are not literate. In India, literacy rate is very much low. Online frauds and scams. People are concerned of the security issues, cyber crimes, that is hacking, phishing, and lack of online trust among the senior citizens. In our research work, the sample size or the number of respondents were 100. The method of data collection was primary method. I have created a Google form and an online questionnaire survey was conducted, through which I have drawn a chart which says that impact of COVID-19 on consumer digital behavior, where about 75% of respondents says that they used more digital payment and less cash payment during this time, and only 5.6% respondent said that they used cash payments and less digital payment during the COVID-19 pandemic period. This is the age-wise classification of the users of digital payment, where 66.7% responded are from the age group 18 to 25 and 13.9 are from 25 to 35 and 13.9 are from 45 to 60, and the most users of digital payments are from the age group of 18 to 25. This is the occupation-wise classification, where 61.1%, that is the highest percentage of users of digital payment, are the students, and the least users are the retired person or the old age people. This is a small graph which represents the most number of challenge in using the digital payment system, where 24 people, that is 66.7% of respondents, are saying that there is a lack of internet connectivity while using digital payments. So people are not opting for it. Next problem is less trust. People have having very much less trust in paying online due to securities issue. This is the review of literature of our research work. Now the last and final slide, that is conclusion. What I have actually concluded through this research is that Indian government is dreaming to be a cashless economy in a few years. Digital payment system is going to be inevitable part of our lives. 100% there will be a 100% cashless economy, where each person will pay electronically without any involvement of cash. During the COVID-19 pandemic, majority of people, even from villages, cities, towns, have shifted to digital payment system, and people are concerned. There are some challenges which people face that are unaware about digital payment system. They have lack of online trust, etc. So, in my opinion, the government should implement or should give knowledge about the importance of digital payment to the people through various programs in order to give a boost up to digitalization of the payment. Now, these are some references of our research work. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sonali Vishan Devgirikar, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, KJ Somaya College of Arts and Commerce, Vidyavihar, Mumbai. The research paper which I am going to present in front of you all today is a critical analysis of motivation and leadership styles of Indian railway officers. The objective of the study is: number one, to analyze the organizational hierarchy of railway officers, to study the leadership styles of railway officers at various administrative levels, and to analyze the motivation and discipline aspects with reference to work environment. This study has been conducted in Mumbai division. The railway officers are at different designations. The sample is selected by a stratified sampling method, in which I have selected officers category 67 respondents, assistant officers category 85 respondents, and supervisors 20 respondents. Of course, all these different levels of respondents are from different departments, including administrative, finance, HR, mechanical, engineering, electronics, as well as the motormen and station masters. According to the survey of these respondents, there are four different leadership styles observed. Number one, leaders are role models for their people, that is for subordinates. Second, leaders set standards for performance. Third, people follow the leaders blindly. And fourth, people must follow the proper channel as per the rules. The percentage of positive and negative responses in case of first leadership pattern, that is leaders are role models for their people, the percentage of respondents who have said yes is 36%, whereas no is 64%. Leaders set standards for performance. Here also 36% approximately have said yes and 63% have said no. People follow the leaders blindly. Almost 46% say yes and 55% approximately say no. People must follow the proper channel as per the rules. Here 81.40% say yes, whereas only 18.60% says no. From this, what we can observe is the most bureaucratic style of leadership which is followed in the government organization called Central Railways. The diagram or the chart in this particular slide gives the graphical representation of the leadership style of railway officers at different railway departments. The table shown in this particular slide gives the presentation of different motivation styles to subordinates by railway officers. This indicates that which style of motivation the railway officers use. There are four different ways by which the railway officers motivate their subordinates: a pat on back, written words, assigning special tasks, and a recommendation for promotion. Here, the respondents have given their responses in positive or negative way as follows. 51.20% respondents say a pat on back is a right type of motivation according to them, whereas 48.80% says no, it is not followed. Written words as per 81.40% is a right style of motivation followed by officers, whereas 18.60% says no. Assigning special tasks has got almost equal representation, whereas recommendation for promotion is highly a no by 68% of the respondents. So railway officers, they feel that written words are the most appropriate style of motivation. Again, here we can say a representation of bureaucratic style of organization. The graph in this slide shows the graphical representation of the motivation style followed by railway officers towards their subordinates. Railways, being a widespread organization, have major concerns in the department for the officers to look after. The major concerns mentioned by railway officers are: number one, to ensure the strict follow-up of rules and regulations. Second, to control staff and maintain good discipline. Third, to maintain friendly working environment amongst employees. And fourth, to encourage employees to develop their skills and so the organization. This particular aspect was measured on five-point scale from most preferred to least preferred. The percentage of results by respondents for each and every criteria is as follows. 65.10% people prefer most preferred concern, that is they agree to this concern as to ensure the strict follow-up of rules and regulations. 58.10% says yes, to control staff and maintain good discipline is their major concern. 76.70% say to maintain friendly working environment amongst employees, and 73.80% says they need to encourage employees to develop their skills and so the organization. These are the major concerns addressed by the officers in different departments of railways. The graph in the slide gives the graphical representation of the 5-point scale of major concerns in the department by railway officers. After a detailed study of motivational and leadership style of the railway officers at different levels and departments, following are the conclusions and recommendations. The research says, or the researcher finds out, the requirement of effective leadership at every level is different. The Railway Ministry and Railway Board can be effective leaders in terms of policy and strategy decisions. Planning is as important as implementation. Effort should be increased by the zonal, divisional and department level managers for the implementation aspects. Every official can act as an effective leader. The departmental officer should focus on the mission of the railways and accordingly direct his subordinates. The role of subordinate is loyal implementation of orders and duties. They will be encouraged to work hard only on their superior's motivation. There are two ways by which the person leads in his working area. One way is imposition of the decision on his subordinates, and the other is discussion with them. Of course, the second is the most preferred way by the officers. The researcher observed that the responsibilities and duties of subordinates are fixed and stereotyped. There is no enthusiasm for experimentation with the working style, as it is also fixed for years together. The only way of influencing staff is through motivation to earn promotions at early stages. There is a lot of competition amongst the Department of Mumbai Division and they hardly work in cooperation. The urge to show superiority in terms of efficiency and results leave them work in isolation, which in turn affects the working of the division. The leadership style of railway officers should be more constructive. It should reflect the enthusiasm for achievement of the set targets. Rather than strict follow-up of rules and regulations, they should emphasize more on result-oriented performance of the departments. The access to superior should be easy. Superior officers should be more approachable. The working style of officers demand change. It should be more objective and result-oriented than subjective and focused on specific individuals only. Favoritism should be avoided by the officers. Following are the references of my study. Thank you all for your patient listening. Hope the topic was interesting and gave some worth information. Thank you once again.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Smriti and my co-author Mr. V. Naveen is here to present our paper titled India's Economic Growth, a Technological Journey of Banking Sector. Technology is rapidly changing and it has replaced the traditional methods of doing work, and companies rely on technology to move ahead. One such transformation is being seen in banking sector, where they have revamped the way of working with the advent of information technology, which has enhanced the efficiency, customer service, accuracy, and new technologies have enabled the employees to be updated with the emerging technologies that can be adapted in the banking sector. The paper primarily focuses on the reasons for digital transformation in banking, trends in banking sector, opportunities and challenges, and at the end, we also discuss about the fintech and the future of banking, emphasizing on how IT companies are getting the credit for creating a world-leading banking industry. A technological transformation is undertaken by the banking sector. Coming to the literature review, as a study was carried on by Sentino in 2004, where he has emphasized that the usage of internet banking has enhanced the speed and also increased the access in remote areas, providing with 24 by 7 accessibility. And another study which was conducted by Broderick and Vachi Ram Punk, which was carried out in 2002, which also focused on how internet banking is again enhancing the volume and the type of the banking services which are being rendered. The data is collected from secondary sources such as various research articles and websites, as it is a conceptual study. Coming to the trends in banking sector, the first one is with reference to digitalization. Digital transactions are helping and catering to the day-to-day financial needs of digital payments and also the lending markets, which has taken place because of fintech. Then it is expected that this particular digital payment would reach $1 trillion by the financial year 2026. Next one is customer lending, that is buy now pay later, which has also improved the customer experiences and maintained positive sentiments among them. The next one is reimagining customer relationship, which is very important, and customer retention is very important where the various advisory services are being provided to the customers. Coming to the next one, which is point of sale terminal, which identifies the customers to the computer and a point of sale terminal that is connecting online to the computerized customer information. And the last one being the telebanking, which is a non-cash related banking on the telephone. Moving ahead with the digital payment shaping the Indian economy, the first one is the banking card, which is a plastic card which was introduced by the Central Bank of India. Coming to the next one, which is Unified Payment Interface, which was developed by NPCI in 2016, which facilitates peer-to-peer, person-to-person merchant transactions. The third one being mobile wallet, which is a virtual wallet which stores the payment card information on a mobile device. Next one being internet banking, which is the online banking method, which provides a great facility to the customers to carry out the transactions. And the next one being the micro ATM, which is a portable device allowing banking transactions through card swipe machines. Now looking at the various opportunities, it focuses on changing the customer behavior in favor of digitalization, which has enhanced the speed and accuracy. Coming to the next one, which is unpenetrated areas and government initiatives, where financial inclusion plays a very important role, and there is a Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, which is being introduced, which is facilitating and benefiting 500 billion people using the direct benefit transfer. The third one being the increased smartphone usage and mobile penetration. Definitely, while banking has also helped individuals to use more of the mobile and it is very quick access. Next is it reduces the cost of delivering services to the customer and it also provides easy access to the information. Coming to the challenges, the first one is coping up with competency is one of the biggest challenge. There is huge amount of pressure which will keep individuals surviving this day. They are very complex financial products which may not be tailor-made to an individual. And the last one being that there are rapid strides in reforming and aligning itself with the new competitive business environment is also a greatest challenge. So coming to the findings, we find that banking sector is tremendously undergoing a lot of changes with the introduction of fintech, which is bringing about new innovative products and services catering to the individual customer requirement. And this digital transformation is emerging as a new technology with help of AI, machine language, big data, blockchain, cloud computing, and robotics. We can also do statistics which talks about the digital usage, which has increased from 7.9 billion to in various essential digital transformation, and coming to the growth of digital banking, which has been enhancing and it's been increasing from year to year, right from 18 to 2024. I would like to conclude that Indian banking industry has gone through very significant changes which has not only improved the customers' experiences but also changed the perceptions of individuals with the advent of a digital technology, which will definitely be a boom to the banking sector in every aspect. These are the reference articles that we have referred along with the website for getting the paper done. I would thank you all for your patience listening. I would also like to thank Ismail Yusuf College for giving me an opportunity to present my paper. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome to all dignitaries present in this conference. I, Ms. Sapna Pasi, Faculty of Ismail Yusuf College of Arts, Science and Commerce and the author of this research study, is here to present the paper on role of women entrepreneurs in Indian economy since independence. Thank you for giving me this opportunity on this special event. I would also like to thank my seniors and subordinates for their guidance and support throughout my research paper. As we all are witnessing the era of women empowerment, so in my presentation, I am going to focus on women entrepreneurship since independence. In my first slide, I have focused on the women entrepreneur related to all sectors who are contributing their best in our country, whether it is farming, entertainment, education, finance, or consultancy firm. And this is all possible because nowadays women are highly educated and having entrepreneurial skills too. Even our government help women to become an entrepreneur by providing various schemes and incentives to them like Mudra Loan, Stree Shakti Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Rojgar Yojana and so on. The government has continuously initiated schemes to empower women. Though there are many women entrepreneurs in India, Kalpana Saroj is one of them who is belonging to weaker section of India. She started her own business at a very young age and achieved great success. And my objective is to do this research are to find out the awareness among women entrepreneurs of various schemes provided by the government and to know the effectiveness of schemes provided by the government like Annapurna scheme, Mudra Yojana scheme, and also to find out the obstacles and challenges faced by Indian women entrepreneurs.
And there are three waves which I have studied. First by Purva Khera. In her study, she shows the reason that implementing policies and practices close the gender inequality gap could lead to a 6.8% that increase India GDP. And second view is of Ritvik Saraswat and Ramya Lata. They highlighted the hurdle faced by women entrepreneurs like gender gap. And the third view of Rupa Vasudevan on the rising role of women entrepreneurs in the Indian economy has shown a prudent image of women in today's world. In my research methodology, Mumbai suburban women entrepreneurs are covered for interview and the sample size of the study is 20. Primary data has been collected from journal people and surveyed through a structured questionnaire. An online Google form was circulated for the study. I have analyzed data on the basis of responses given by various women entrepreneurs in which I have covered basic circumstances based question in this PPT. First analysis shows that education plays vital role in women's life to become an entrepreneur. Approximately 85% women mention this. And the second analysis says that only 55% of women entrepreneurs had workshops and seminars in their college related to entrepreneurship. And the third slide shows that still more of women, up to 70% of women entrepreneurs, are not getting any benefit from the government schemes and incentives. From the above study, I observed that for more information and knowledge regarding entrepreneurship, seminars and workshops is need of the day. For women entrepreneurs, financial needs and expert advices and contacts are very crucial for women entrepreneurs. And let not forget the other side of the coin. Here are some limitations of the study. The sample size is limited to 20 women entrepreneurs only. All the responses may not be 100% reliable as it includes their personal reason. And the survey is constrained to Mumbai suburban region only, which cannot show the right image of all women entrepreneurs of our country. And to conclude the observation of my study, I can sum up that how women are becoming an independent and contributing to GDP growth with the support of government. Enthusiastic women entrepreneurs through various schemes and incentives plays an important role in the economy. And the benefit of SHG, that is self-help group, resulting into starting in new venture of women like homemade food stall and small business contributing to social development and economic growth of the country. I have referred various books, journals and websites during the study. With this, I would like to conclude this session. Thank you all for your kind attention and cooperation. Welcome again to the conference, and these are my references.
A very good afternoon to one and all. I, Sumaya Khan, the Assistant Professor of Smile Yusuf College, firstly likely to express my gratitude for presenting the research paper at this international platform, organized by Government of Maharashtra Smile Yusuf College of Arts, Science and Commerce, in collaboration with IQSC, Department of Commerce and Accountancy. I'm extremely honored and thankful for this opportunity. Let me start the presentation by introducing the authors of the research paper. The main author, Mrs. Anagha Shinghade, Assistant Professor, Smile Yusuf College, Shri M.D. Shah College, and PhD Scholar at SNDT Women's University. Mr. Hemraj Bari, Associate Professor, Smile Yusuf College, the co-author, and myself, Ms. Sumaya Khan, Assistant Professor, Smile Yusuf College, the co-author of the research paper. And finally, introducing the topic of our research paper, training's effect on performance of bank employees, with special reference to private sector banks of Mumbai suburb region. As we all know about the famous proverb that practice makes men perfect, similarly, training makes employees perfect, and there is an extreme need for perfect human resource in each and every level of the organization for achieving its target. Converting practice in management terms called as training. Training helps the employee in their overall development, starting from learning new skills, knowledge, and it makes them ready to handle more challenging responsibilities in future. Training may continue beyond the mental upgradation to physical fitness related to a specific occupation such as sports, martial arts, and military applications. Training ground is very huge in nature. The researcher in this paper has taken one of the players playing in that is, the private banks. There is a need of practice in each and every field, which makes this research paper of universal use. It will assist the private banks to determine the training and development aspects. The main objective of this study is to investigate the current status of training programs offered by private banks to their employees and also to evaluate how well these programs contributes in employees' development. Coming to the framework of the research paper, where researchers has taken the sample size of 50 private bank employees selected by using convenient simple random sampling. Researcher collected the data from primary as well as secondary sources by using questionnaire and already published data, which is further analyzed by simple percentage method. Let's start with the analysis and findings of the research paper. Motivation is something which gears up the employee's performance, which will in turn beneficial to the organization for accomplishing its goal. Motivation is important to both, to the employee as well as to the organization. Without motivation, no employee can survive in the organization for long, and no organization can last without motivated employees. In this research survey, 89% of the employees are strongly agreed on the favorable impact of training on their performance and productivity. Efficiency is the direct relationship of input and output. In simple, it means at the lower cost, higher returns. When the efficiency of the employees increases, it will help them to achieve their career goals. Promotion is one of the most craved objective of every employee. As shown in the chart, 85% of the employees agreed that training programs help them in getting the promotions. Methods and techniques of training list is very vast. Selecting the best one is again a task. It should be like right method for the right employee at the right time. As training helps them in many ways, but only if it is effective. As statistics says, 94% of the employees are not satisfied with the training programs currently offered by the banks. Training itself is a project having a bunch of objectives, and achieving those objectives states the success of training programs. Employees' dissatisfaction level is very high on the overall effectiveness of training programs, which clearly means training objectives are not hitting on the mark. No doubt that employee performance is significantly influenced by the training activities carried out by the private banks. Also, there is a sufficient data to support the claim that there is a need for more efforts and improvement in training programs offered by the banks. Banks should introduce such training programs which is less time consuming, economical, and more effective. It can be learn and earn drive. As in this competitive era, it is necessary to make human resource strong in order to face India's current and future business difficulties. And this brings me to the end of my presentation. I thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you.